உங்களுக்கு அந்த வேலை வேற கஷ்டம் தான் இல்ல.
உங்க கூட நிறைய ரிசர்ச் கிளாஸ் எடுக்க வரக்குள்ள கூட
குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் சார். சார் குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன்.
மேடம் குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன். மேடம் குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன்.
குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் சார்.
கெஸ்ட் வந்துட்டாங்களா?
Not yet come, sir.
Okay. இத பின்னாடி தரேன்.
Beulah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, could you please call her because our guest not yet joined.
Yes.
I want to know in which name she is coming.
She will be there. She will be there at sharp in the name of Dr. Kiran.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
She will come.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Our guests have joined. Welcome, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, to the session. Dr. Kiran. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, welcome, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Madam, good afternoon. I'm searching you.
yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Very nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yes. Geeta, ma'am, we'll start.
Sir. Yes, sir. We'll start.
Yes, ma'am.
Anuradha, you can start, Anuradha.
Yes, ma'am. A cheerful noon to everyone present here through this virtual portal for the 4th day short-term course on curriculum design and development, jointly organized by Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute and Western College of Education, Chennai. We are delighted to offer the most hospitable welcome, and so to extend a gracious and inclusive welcome, may I request Dr. P. Sendamir Pavai, Assistant Professor from Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute, to deliver the welcome address. Please, Pavai.
Yes, ma'am. A very happy afternoon to one and all gathered here. It's my pleasure to welcome all the participants for the 4th day of short-term course on curriculum design and development on the topic issues related to curriculum development, organized by Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, in collaboration with Curriculum Development Cell, Western College of Education. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. To begin with such a thoughtful session, I would like to welcome all the executors and dignitaries of both Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute and Western College of Education. I take immense pleasure in welcoming our chief guest of day 4, Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal, Assistant Professor and former Additional Dean, Academic Cell, Department of Education, University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. We welcome you, ma'am. My heartfelt welcome to all the participants of today's program. Last but not least, I extend my congenial welcome to all the organizing secretaries who have joined today with us to make this event a grand success. Ending is the welcome address of starting new. With no further delay, let's begin this day 4 virtual short-term course. Once again, I welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sendamir Pavai, for the warm welcome. With unbounded pleasure, we would like to invite Dr. S. Devasagayam Selvakumar, Principal, Western College of Education, to introduce the resource person of today's session. Please, sir.
Most honorable guests of honor, Professor Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal from Department of Education, University of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Respected authorities of Dr. MGR Education Research Institute and Western Education Development Association, and dear delegates from all over the country, very warm welcome to you all. I take this opportunity to introduce our respected guest of this program, Professor Dr. Kiran Lata Dangwal, for this 4th day session. She is having about 3 decades of experience in teaching and research. She has served as additional dean, Academic Cell of University of Lucknow. Presently, she is there in the Faculty of Department of Education. To her credit, she has authored more than 25 books and published about 60 research journals. She has developed many open educational resources, e-content educational videos, as she has got high command in computer education and educational technology. She is the first lady in NCC officer in University of Lucknow, being a model to all the women candidates within the university campus. To her credit, she has brought many awards such as Shiksha Ratna, Uttarakhand Gaudan Saman, best NCC officer, etc. She is serving as an e-content expert in NCRT and NCTE. She has delivered lectures all over the world in many colleges and universities in our country, Europe, Canada, South Africa, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Myanmar. Such a well experienced, worldwide educationalist we have in our midst. When I invited her, immediately she has given her concern in the midst of her busy schedule in the form of conducting examination work in her university. She has accepted our invitation. Ma'am, on behalf of the managements of both the institutions, I accord a very warm welcome to you for your valuable presence in our midst. Once again, I welcome the entire gathering, the authorities of both the institutions, particularly our respected guest, Professor Dr. Kiran Lada Dangwal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for introducing our guest of today's session. I've heard that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Madam, I hope you will make them feel fulfilled through your presentation. Please, ma'am, the session is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And very good evening, good afternoon to everyone present here. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you. So I extend my heartfelt gratitude and sincere thanks to Dr. Selva Kumar for inviting me for this short-term course. And it is a matter of honor for me for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all. And my special thanks to the chief patron and distinguished educators, those who are associated with this short-term program. And really, it is very good topic which you have chosen for this course. So I would like to congratulate the dignitaries for putting efforts in producing educative lectures delivered before me on curriculum design and development. My compliments and good luck to all the participants for your future academic endeavor. So let me share my screen first, just a moment. Please let me know whether my screen is visible.
Yes,
or
ma'am,
not.
it's visible.
Okay, okay. Just a moment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. By now, I'm certain that everyone is well versed with the basic concept of curriculum. Next in the series, now I will be speaking on the topic issues related to curriculum development, which Dr. Selva Kumar gave me to talk about. So my focus will be on issue related to curriculum development. So before we come into the topic properly, it is necessary for us to know and discuss about the basic concept of curriculum. And you have already gone through about the basic concept, but just I'll focus on few things. As we all know that to attain any objective and goal, we have to negotiate different hurdles of curriculum development. So yeah, there is some technical problem, so I'm switching off my video. So the thing, what is the basic, I'll focus on few things only. When we talk about the curriculum is one of the most important factor to achieve educational aims and objectives, and it is defined as the courses offered by a school, but is rarely used in a general sense. And in school, curriculum includes curricular and co-curricular activities. So when we focus on the concept of curriculum, then curriculum is the base in education on which the teaching learning process is planned and implemented. It is the sum total of the academic and non-academic experiences of a school based on educational intended outcome to fulfill the personal and social growth of the learner. I hope English language will be okay. If you need anything in Hindi also, you can ask me, then I'll be bilingual if there will be any problem. So there are many forms of curriculum when we talk about the basic concept, when we talk about the general concept or about the broad concept. Then what we need to do, we need to, there is some problem in this.
Ma'am, your audio and video are clear, ma'am. You can proceed.
Okay. Some
The person who
problem.
are texting, yes, the person who are texting has some issues
Okay,
in the
maybe.
network.
Okay.
Your audio is clear, ma'am.
Just a moment.
Participant, kindly don't text any messages. It is distracting the presenter.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, ma'am. So curriculum is one of the most important factor to achieve educational aims and objectives, as I told you, and it is defined as a courses offered by the school. Curriculum is the base in education on which the teaching learning process is planned and implemented, and it is the sum total of the academic and non-academic experiences of a school based on educational outcomes to fulfill the personal and social growth of the learner. Here, when we talk about the concept, when we talk about the traditional concept of curriculum, because before telling anything about the issues, we need to focus on these things. So first I'll discuss what is the traditional concept of curriculum. Traditional means when we are imparting education, followed the curriculum of academics as it is insisted purely acquiring mastery over knowledge and certain skills, and education being the sole aim. This is the traditional concept. And then modern concept covers the wider spectrum of the life of individual as a whole group. It includes the conduct of all extracurricular activities, whatever we do in our educational institution, which the students are required to be exposed to go beyond the four walls of the classroom. And it encompasses proper planning and organizing the education curriculum for the better assimilation and understanding. But when we go into this concept, narrow and broader meaning of the curriculum, and when we talk about the narrow curriculum, in the narrow sense, curriculum means the plan, reach the aims and objectives of the education. It is just a tool to achieve the aim of teaching as a subject. It is limited to the classroom activities. It emphasizes on teaching subject. It works to produce certificate and degrees. It develops only mental ability, and it is more under teacher and administrative control. But when we talk about the broader sense of curriculum, it means not only the study of academic subjects traditionally taught in the school, but also includes the sum total of all experiences that a pupil receives through the manifold activities in a school. It includes both curricular and co-curricular activities, develop the personality of the child. It has a more creative and forward look. It is basically a child-centered curriculum when we talk about the curriculum in broader sense. So I was discussing about the concept of curriculum in the field of education. And before we proceed further, I would like to tell you, I would like you all to listen a small interesting story. You all must have heard about the Thomas Edison. One day, Thomas Edison came home and gave a paper to his mother. He told her, "My teacher gave this paper to me and told me to only give it to your mother only." His mother's eyes were tearful as she read that letter out loud to her child. And she said that in this letter, it is written there that your son that your son is a genius and this school is too small for him and does not have enough good teachers for training him. Please teach him yourself. Many years after Edison's mother had died and Edison had become one of the greatest inventors of the country. You all must have heard about him, that what he invented. One day he was going through the old closet and he found a folder letter which was given to him by his teacher for his mother. He opened it. The message was written on that letter, whatever message was there, it was written, your son is mentally ill. We cannot let him attend our school anymore. He is expelled. Just see what was written there and what his mother told him. Edison became emotional reading it, and then he wrote in his diary, Thomas Alva Edison was a mentally challenged child whose mother turned him into the genius of the century. Just focus on these lines. That Thomas Alva Edison was a mentally challenged child whose mother turned him into the genius of the century. Having heard the story, this is a big question mark for all of us to understand as to how the curriculum designed is actually doing. Are we on the right path of achieving our objectives? At the same time, it is a challenge for us to analyze whether our curriculum is helping all types of children who are required to understand in some way or otherwise. So after this, just I'll focus on types of curriculum, that what are the various types. Just in one sentence or in a very short manner, I'll tell you about the various types of curriculum, because I have to talk about the various issues in curriculum development. So we are having different kinds of curriculum, and first is traditional or subject-centered curriculum. It means it is a statement of subjects of study with indication of their extent and time limit. The focus is on intellectual attainment of a child rather than on the values of studies for personal and social development. Next is the activity curriculum. Means the subject matter is translated in terms of activities. That is activity curriculum. It means in this curriculum, we try to enhance the knowledge, skill, and attitude. The next one is the experience curriculum, a curriculum which gives rich and varied experiences of knowledge, skill, and attitude. Then next one is undifferentiated curriculum. It means the curriculum does not aim at the specialized study of various subjects. It contains a certain amount of common knowledge and experience considered essential for all children without any consideration of their gender or aptitude. The next one is basic education curriculum, with a view to bring about all-round development of the child. Curriculum of basic education has been constructed around the three things, that is physical environment, social environment, and craft related work. Basic education is the education for life and education through life, which was conceived and explained by the Mahatma Gandhi too. The next one is overt or written curriculum. It is written as a part of the formal instruction of school experiences. It may refer to the curriculum document or text that are overtly chosen to support the intentional instructions agenda of a school. Next is societal curriculum, or we can say social curriculum. This curriculum is massive, ongoing, informal curriculum of family, peer groups, churches, occupations, mass media, and other socializing forces that educate all of us throughout our lives. Next one is very nature and or attitudes of the teacher and administration. Means a few things are hidden which directly we are not dealing with, but indirectly we are dealing in curriculum. Next one is learner-centered curriculum. Learner-centered means it gives importance to individual development and curriculum organized according to the needs and interest of the learner. Means this is generally learner-centered, which a student want, that is meant for individualistic approach also. After that, what we have discussed and learned for so far about the different types of curriculum, and just again I would like to tell you a incident or a thought by a professor, and he gave one thought, and he has written, he was in South Africa, a professor of a university wrote an expressive message to his students when they were doing research. They students, those who were doing research, and they were some of them were doing PG also, and some of them were in bachelor's course. And what he has written in his message, collapsing any nation does not require use of atomic bomb or the use of long-range missiles. It only requires lowering the quality of education and allowing them to cheat in the examination. Just see what he has written, what he wrote in his message, that any nation does not require any atom bombs to finish that nation, but what it only requires lowering the quality of education. And that is very, very important aspect. If you are lowering the quality of your education, it means you are going to vanish all the values, ethics from your nation. So example means death of a patient in the hands of doctor. Means if doctor is not well qualified or he has not taken quality education, then what will happen? Death of a patient in the hands of doctor. Collapse the building constructed by engineers. You lose money in the hands of an accountant. The humanity suffers due to the religious fanaticism, so-called scholars. Injustice in the hands of judge. Children suffer in the education under the care of a teacher. The collapse of education system is the collapse of the nation. And this is all because these people passed their examination through cheating. So what will happen if we, in our curriculum or in our basic structure, if we will not focus on quality or in a proper way, if we will not see the thing, then what will happen? These things will happen. With this as backdrop, I will start with the subject, main topic, that the issues and problems of curriculum development. What are the main issues and problems while developing curriculum? So when we talk about the problem, or when we speak about the problem, that problem and solution are connected with each other, because for every problem there is a solution. Problem has to be resolved. The first impression on hearing, it is taken as negative, but it is not the way. There comes rarely a situation that the problem becomes difficult to solve and is thought to be kind of negative. But what is problem? And when we see about the issues, that what is the exact meaning of issues, means the problem does have many solutions and answer. Means that is called issue. Issue is generally connected with different decisions and disagreements. The issues at times leads to discussions with lots of differences in opinion and even divide people. And when we talk about the problems and issues, it means they are similar in nature, because both problems and issues leads to debate, discussion, concern, and conflict. Every problem has a typical way of being solved in integrity, and it is seen whenever we are not in a position to resolve any problem so easily for the time being. There are differences of opinion in people, it becomes an issue. So what are the various issues in curriculum development? And curriculum development, when we talk about the structure and curriculum development, it is necessary to devise a correct method of curriculum development. It is not so simple to plan for a well-integrated, effective curriculum. To get really a good curriculum, it requires a dedicated heart hard and intelligent work with continuity. Then only you can develop a good curriculum. A curriculum development has to have philosophical, psychological, social, and economic basis. Curriculum is a set of activities and which needs thorough planning, and it has various kinds of activity. It is not easy to develop or revise any curriculum so easily. There are many problems and issues that we come across while doing so. Any process of curriculum follows a web of moral and intellectual reasons and beliefs leading towards defining political, economic, social arrangement of the societies. In a well-organized and stable society, the planner do not face that much of the problems. It becomes easy to find the answer for any curriculum. So here I would like to tell you about the curriculum when we visualize about this curriculum at different level, and these different levels are at national level, state level, school level, and classroom level. And we have different kinds of issues when we talk about when we visualize curriculum at different levels. Now, first of all, I will discuss about the at national level. Sorry. In our country, it is the central government body which plans and establishes and promulgates all policies related to board education of the school curriculum development and management. And these policies help the state government to devise their policies on education. Education in India is provided by the public sector, private sector, with control and funding coming from the three levels. And what are those three levels? That is central, state, and local level. The curriculum at school level is primarily decided by the state government machinery. However, there is always a scope of flexibility to adopt the curriculum at state level, local, and school level. Here I will Here I will go into the different aspects of curriculum that is being followed at the national level, at the state level, at the school level, and at class level. Now, first I'll talk about the curriculum visualized as national level. So in order to develop a society, we have to first develop curriculum at national level and in higher education. And this will help in perceiving our national identity, and this is required for the economic growth and stability. The responsibility for framing the education curriculum rests with the nation for effective learning for the bright future. And curriculum is legislated by the government in consultation with state and other regional authorities. It is a common program of study in schools designed to ensure nationwide uniformity of content and standards in education. So the national curriculum is a set of subjects and standards used by primary and secondary schools. And and at national level, NCERT makes the curriculum related matters for school education across the India, and the NCERT provides support, guidance, technical assistance to a number of schools in India and overseas, different aspects related to the enforcement of education policies. And if we will see aims of curriculum at national level, those aims are generally protection of environment and natural resources, providing compulsory education to all the children, framing the national curriculum framework, bringing awareness about the children from who are from different culture, from different social system, and bringing awareness of inherent equality of all and need of global fraternity. So providing the knowledge of national symbols and other things means there are lots of aims which are related at a national level. So just see what are the various issues at national level. First is focus on product instead of process. This is the big issue when we develop curriculum at national level. Means sorry. There is need to pay emphasis on the output and objectives rather than concentrating only on the process. And this is a big issue at national level. Then next issue is focus on societal needs as compared to the individual. We have to understand the need of society and focus on that, not on individuals alone. And this way, there will be a growth. Next issue is standards are written and enforced by non-educators. You have seen in various those who make policies, there are many issues that these policies or these standards are written or enforced by the non-educator, those who are not from the academic field. Then what will happen in the field of education? The content in a standardized form is written, described, and enforced by the people who are actually non-educators, and then it is up to educators to further disseminate in the right manner. So then it means those who are educators, their responsibility is increasing, day by day increasing. Why? Because they have the responsibility to disseminate in a proper way. Then next is usually has a subject matter focus rather than personalized for the each student. What matters is the main aim and goal of the subject content rather than focusing just on personalized design for each student separately. This is also a issue when we develop curriculum at national level. Then lack of professional freedom and judgment to teachers. There is a feeling that the teachers don't get sufficient professional freedom and even judgment and assessment. Then lack of student-teacher interaction. When we are trying to develop this curriculum, this part is missing. This may even lead to the lack of interaction between teachers and learners. And what is happening in the lack of interaction, what will happen? You can understand these things. Then leads to testing lower level knowledge, comprehension, and memory emphasis. Means they are these curriculum, what is happening, these things are impacting on the testing the knowledge only. Means they are promoting rote memory, comprehension. They are the things are going at comprehension level and emphasis on memory gained during the complete process of teaching and learning. There is lack of creativity also. When we are developing curriculum at national level, there is lack of creativity. There may be a lack of creativity since the curricula has already been prepared and system has been devised accordingly. The next is, this will have effect on different ideologies and religion because of the promulgation of the curriculum. Why? Because imposed ideologies and imposed religion. This is also an issue at national level. Then next is, does not realize the complexity of curriculum development. There would be a need to analyze and understand the complexity of curriculum development, which is really, in real sense, we need to realize that what are the problems, what are the issues, and what will happen when we are going to implement this particular curriculum. Then does not account the characteristics of the learner in local institution. Although it is highly accountable, but there is a requirement to go into the details of the characteristics of the learner at local level or in local institutions as well. Curriculum plans are developed by subject area scholars, then the teachers. Earlier also I told you that most of the things are done by the non-educators, not by the teachers or educators. All these curriculum are planned and developed for implementation in each subject by the scholars, those who are expert in respective area rather than the teachers. Maybe they are academician or non-academic, but they are not teachers. So at national level, if we will see, there are 3 boards operate at national level, and the curriculum framed by the respective boards, and they are the CBSE, ICSE, NIOS. These are the boards. Now, next step is that is curriculum visualized at state level. What students are expected to learn and know at different levels of education, that curriculum of studying different content areas, that is language, science, social science, physical education, technology education, mathematics, and many other things are designed by the state. The curriculum should align with the content standards and assessment program, and states frame their own curriculum based on the national curriculum framework. It contains clear mandate and information for the teachers regarding teaching. And the states are heavily involved in the establishment, selection, regulation of curriculum, teaching method, and instructional material for their schools. And every state has their own standards, policies, and procedures to ensure quality of education. And besides this, there are instructional programs that students are expected to undergo beyond the standardized curriculum. So there are different curriculum bodies to govern school education system at the state level. And those are that every state has one state board of the secondary school education, and these boards are responsible to plan the curriculum from grade 1 to 12th class, having local appeal with the examination conducted in regional languages in addition to English. And some other organizations are also there, like NIOS, Islamic Madrasas, autonomous schools like Sri Arbindo's International School, which is in Pondicherry. Then international schools are also there. Some special special education schools are also there. So state governments also emphasizes in the development of skills for the economic upliftment and growth. Age, maturity level, sophistication of the students are the consideration to disseminate the educational material according with cultural setting of states. All the guidance are provided by the state to districts and schools. And there are some special functions which state has to do, like states are responsible for the developing curriculum framework. Then states are responsible for and implementing tests and other performance measures. States should provide school districts with resources needed to develop and implement high quality curriculum, and state framework should be carefully evaluated while they are being produced. Now, there are some issues at state level also. First is, you can see in slide that local needs and preferences are not considered. Whenever the curriculums are planned and prepared, we come across different opinions of the members of the body framing the curriculum, and even if feedback is taken from the people, everyone will have differentiated and different views. Here it is important that the needs and preferences of the local needs have to be considered, which is generally neglected at an initial stages. Next is disagreement. Means there is disagreement with respect to the nature and components of state frameworks among the people involved. So we need to arrive at consciousness. It is very important. So, and next is curriculum standards are often not supported with other systematic changes, such as new approaches to education. And these curriculum standards should design, they are not necessarily to be supported with the new approach that is very much required in the field of education. One issue is this, that state initiatives may be seen as fragmented and often contradictory. The initiative taken by the state will always be having fragmented approach, and there will be always contradictions, and therefore in this aspect, it has to be considered that there should not be contradiction in the views in the implementation and at other various levels. Then limited resources and accompanying reducing staff means there is always a crunch of resources, and this will be given in the manpower as there may come a situation of reducing staff. This is also a big issue at a state level. Most state departments of the education do not help local districts to implement the state standards. This is also seen in at the state level. This is also a problem, a issue. The next one is statewide competency assessment foster harmful instructional practices such as retention and misuse of special education placement while not encouraging school improvement. So there are procedures and different means to resolve. There are many things through which we can resolve these issues also. Means approach must include new ideas, opinion on how the students will learn and interact in all the components which are implemented or which are structured in curriculum. We can resolve all these issues if we will consider different aspects at state level. And the state curriculum framework must have elements of philosophy, rationality, goals, learner school outcomes, content standard, students' performance standards, interdisciplinary strategies. We should include all these things whenever we are framing curriculum at state level. An emphasis has to be given on assessment of competency level and improvement of school infrastructure and the students. And the standards set by the state should be such that it meets the need of local schools also. In the same way, next is curriculum visualized at the school level. What are the various issues at school level? Like the basis of all educational and extra activities as a school, at a school level is the curriculum designed to a particular set of courses by the governing bodies, which helps in achieving the desirable quality of education and the growth of students. The school curriculum planned and devised by government and boards encompasses educational program, syllabus, schedule, studies, subjects, and program of the studies. It poses big challenges to the students in the process of learning and make it easier for teachers and students to achieve success. So we are having different functions of curriculum at a school level. We have different aims, but when we focus on issues in the curriculum at a school level, these are, first is, teachers themselves are not trained and efficient. This is a big issue at school level, although the curriculum is in the place that but due to lack of well-trained and efficient teachers, the system is suffering. In many parts, you can see that system is suffering. Why? Because we are, as a teacher, we are not getting proper training in developing these curriculum for school at a school level, or we can say at a state level also. Then next is lack of focus on skill development, because in general, whenever we say that the main aim of curriculum development or curriculum is to do all-round development of a child. And how we can do? By enhancing three aspects like cognitive development, affective development, and psychomotor development. But are we doing all these things in our curriculum or not? This is a big issue at school level. The next one is lack of teamwork. There is hardly any focus on skill development, collaborative work, whereas this is a very much required for the growth of the students or the learner at this level. So there is a lack of teamwork at a school level. This is also an issue. Then applying a prescribed curriculum to all types of students means we are not considering NPC, means normal probability curve, that we have different kinds of students in our class. So whatever is curriculum, we are applying that curriculum in all the students. Now the question is how we can resolve or we can solve these issues at school level. Means the thing is that teachers should be well trained and they should be updated about their knowledge, which help the students learning and building nation. Individual differences also, we should consider individual differences also in a classroom. Skill development must be emphasized in curriculum development at school level. Then next is, there are some issues at class level also. Means the curriculum at classroom refers to the topics, lessons, and the academic content taught in any school or in a specific course or program. Aim is to make it an effective and useful as it can be. Yes. Some important questions related to the classroom curriculum are: what is important to be given? Why we are teaching these lessons? Why we are teaching about this particular content? This is the question at classroom level. Where are my students? Are they present in the classroom, or it is happening that body present and mind absent? What strategies we are adopting to make them learn? What happened as a result of the teaching? What are the implications for future teaching? So these are the questions. These are the main things which are happening. These are the questions which comes in our mind when we try to implement this curriculum. So we have different issues at classroom level also, and these issues are: first is curriculum is not helping to develop personality of a child, and whenever we are taking class, are we able to enhance or are we able to achieve those goals? Means effective, are we enhancing effective cognitive, affective and psychomotor skills, or are we able to achieve these goals or not? Means curriculum must support the children in growth and developing their personality, which is not being felt that way. Then lack of empathy and support between students. Teachers are working too many roles at the same time. They have to do this, that, and many other things. The concept of multi-role has emerged, and it is felt that there is no affiliation and the support between the students, which is lacking. Teachers are working too many roles at the same time. The next is, this curriculum does not cater to individual differences of the student. When we see issues at the classroom level or class level, this is also a big issue, that we are that the concept does not cater to resolve the individual differences. We are not bothering about the values, motivation is not there, and applying a prescribed curriculum to all the students as it was happening at a school level also, then it is moving towards the classroom also. This applies for a prescribed curriculum for all types of students who have a different levels of uptake and intelligence. And next is, pre-packaged curricula already prepared in reality undermine teachers' professionalism. This is also happening at classroom level. Cultural sensitivity is not there. While we are developing curriculum at classroom level, this is also a big issue, that cultural sensitivity is not there. Inadequate emphasis on learners' needs and interest as well as their developmental level. Classroom size, there is problem of classroom size. In some, if class size exceeds from 30, then what will happen? A teacher will not able to pay attention to every student in the classroom. So here the number of students in the class matters a lot, because it is felt that if the size of classroom exceeds 30 students, the teacher is not in a position to pay adequate attention to every student learning in a classroom. So this is also a issue. Poverty is also one of the issues. Poverty means this affects the students' learning process of the student in the classroom in terms of content, resources, and knowledge. If that particular child is not getting proper resources at home, or not getting proper guidance at home, then this will be also a big issue. The next is technology. With the introduction of technology in teaching learning of the students, interest and love for technology distract them from doing their schoolwork. These days, what is happening, you can see that most of the time students are engaged in online education. But in future, we need to see, while developing curriculum, we have to focus on this aspect. Okay, what should be the percentage of online and offline? How much time they should involve themselves in online learning? So these are also one of the issues, means technology. Then students' attitude and behavior. This is also a big issue at classroom level, especially at secondary school level. Then students' attitude and behavior, the attitude of the students towards teacher plays a key role. If the students are disrespectful towards the teachers, then the very aim of the classroom gets defected. And this problem is being felt in a big way today. Such situations do arise in secondary schools and especially at school level. Then parents' involvement means this is a very peculiar situation wherein the interface of the parents in the educational process is noticed, and it does not cater to individual differences of the student. So these are the issues which are seen at classroom level. So we can say we have different issues. We have some societal issues also. We have some other means these days we are focusing on globalization also. So if we are having these kind of problems and issues, then what is the solution of all these things? Yes, we have solutions at every level. Means, for example, if we focus on the there are many aspects of the society that needs consideration in curriculum making, and these are like social change, transmission of culture, social problems as issues for curriculum, economic issues, technology, our home, family, diversity, environmental issues, political issues. So all these are included in various kinds of issues and problems when we are developing our curriculum. So in the last, I can say that just I'll tell you one again. I'll tell you about one story which we can relate with the curriculum development and why not focusing on these issues and problems. And for most of the time, if we are ignoring these issues, then what will happen? Our total structure will collapse. So just I will tell you one story. The most beautiful book to read is Die Empty, and it is written by Todd Henry. In his book, what he has written, that author who has written this book, he was inspired and got this idea of writing this book while attending a meeting. And when the director asked the audience, where is the richest land in the world? Again, he asked, where is the richest land in the world? One of the participants answered, oil-rich Gulf states. Another one said, diamond mines in Africa. Then the director said, no, it is the cemetery. Yes, he said, it is the richest land in the world because millions of people have departed, died, and they carried many valuable ideas that did not come to light nor benefit the others. It is all in the cemetery where they are buried. And inspired by this answer, Todd Henry wrote his book, Die Empty, where he did his best to motivate people to pour out their ideas and potential energies in their communities and turn them into something useful before it is too late. The most beautiful of what he said in his book, do not go to your grave and carry inside you the best that you have. Always choose to die empty. And the true meaning of this expression is to die empty of all the goodness that is within you. Deliver it to the world before you leave. If you have an idea, perform it. And these things are lacking in us also as a teacher. We are trying to take out the mistakes. We are criticizing the system. But as a teacher, we are not giving proper suggestions to the government, to the bodies, what should be the proper way of developing curriculum. So what he said in his book, if you have an idea, perform it. If you have knowledge, give it out. If you have a goal, achieve it. Love, share, and distribute whatever is inside you. So remove and spread every atom of goodness inside us. We should also work on it, that what is the good form, or what is the best, what best we can do in the field of education. And whenever we are talking about these issues, these problems, we should also come up with all the solution. So this is enough for today. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. If you have any query, you can ask questions. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Very good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm checking whether any questions are there, ma'am. No questions, ma'am. Very good comments, excellent presentation, and nice presentation. That was the comment given here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for devoting your precious time and endowing the audience with your words of wisdom and experience. You clearly stated the issues at a central, state, and school level, and percentage of online and offline have to be decided. And you have very well connected that with the short story. It was really wonderful session, and it's a gracious moment to extend our gratitude formally. So may I now request Dr. John Cyprian from Western College of Education to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. A very warm good evening to one and all present here. I take it as a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks for the 4th day of virtual short-term course organized by Dr.MGR Educational and Research Institute and Curriculum Development Cell of Western College of Education. First of all, I thank Lord Almighty for being with us and made this program a renowned success. My special and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kiranlata Dangwal ma'am, Assistant Professor and former Additional Dean, Academic Cell, Department of Education, University of Lucknow, for sparing her valuable time for us and sharing her knowledge on the topic issues related to curriculum development. It was really a thought-provoking session, ma'am. We were all enlightened and gained more knowledge on the topic, and it was also a wonderful presentation, ma'am. Thank you so much. Extend my thanks to the Chief Patrons, ACS Arun Kumar, President, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, and Major ES Daniel Gunanidhi IAS retired, President of Western Education and Development Association, for providing their support to conduct such programs. It was my honor to thank the patrons of this program, Professor Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, Vice Chancellor, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, and Dr. N. Vijayan, Dean and Vice President of Western Education and Development Association, for being the backbones and always ready to lend their hands for the upliftment of their institutions. I feel immense pleasure to thank co-patrons, Professor Dr. Palanivelu, Registrar, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, and Reverend Father Ludusamy Susai, Secretary of Western Educational and Development Association, for their valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all our efforts. I extend my gratitude to the conveners, Professor Dr. Geeta, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, and Dr. S. Devasahayam Selvakumar Sir, Principal, Western College of Education, for their tireless effort to make this program a successful one. I also thank the organizing secretaries, Ms. Vigneshwari, Assistant Professor, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute, Mrs. Maria Suganti, Assistant Professor, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Mr. D. Arnold Robinson, Assistant Professor of Biological Science, Western College of Education, and Mrs. Beulah Kriba, Assistant Professor of History, Western College of Education, for their hard work to ensure this program contributes for this knowledge society. It is my duty to thank Dr. B. Anuradha, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, for hosting this entire program of the day in a grand manner. Thank you, ma'am. I also thank Dr. Sendamil Pavai, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, for the wonderful welcome address. Last but not the least, I thank the faculties, students, and non-teaching staffs of both the institutions, that Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute and the Western College of Education, for their continuous support. I also thank all the participants for their patient listening. Thank you all once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Priya, for the gratitudinal note. Dear participants, it's our blessings and pleasure for being with you today, and thank you once again for joining us through online mode to enrich your knowledge. Kindly fill up the feedback link shared in the chat box. Thank you, everyone. Let us meet you all tomorrow for the final day session of the short-term course on curriculum design and development. Thank you, everyone.
Kiran ma'am, thank you. Kiran ma'am, thank you.
Thank you so
ma'am.
much. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Kiran madam, thank you.
Thank you.
Geeta madam, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.